I almost never turn on the spotlight, but I went to flip it on the other day and nothing happened. So the first thing I did was check the fuse, and sure enough, it was blown. I went ahead and put a new fuse in, and the second that it started to make contact, it blew. When you have an electrical problem like that, sometimes it can be a major pain to try to track it down, but it's almost always a hot wire that's touching ground somewhere. The first thing I did was disconnect the power from the light and then put the fuse back in. When I did that, the fuse did not blow, and there is 12 volt hot power still to this side of the wire. What's nice about this is that immediately told me that the short is on the spotlight side of the connection and not in the vehicle side of the connection. So now it's just a matter of tracking down where the short is in the spotlight. So if you take your multimeter and either have a continuity test or a resistance test, you see I touch it to the hot lead here. And touch it to the ground, you see it's shorted right there. So that makes me think that it's something to do with this bolt here, shorted out somehow. I'm going to remove the nut here. Take this ground wire out. Nice thing is when you remove that, you can also remove this and paint it, which you see I've already done. So with that off, you can see the hot is this goldish color and the ground is the silver color. So there should not be continuity there, but there is. So that tells me something either right here or possibly somewhere else inside the light has shorted to ground, and so that's why the fuse pops the second this is plugged in. It's a weird design having the ground and the hot basically touching. I'm guessing there's some sort of insulation in there. It may have failed, or it may be on the switch side. I'll pull the switch and see what we find in there. The handle has a 3/8 bolt on the bottom. And then the retaining nut is kind of stuck sometimes. There we go. So you see that that is an actual nut that's separate from here. So now we have the switch. We can open up the back piece here and see if there's any short there. So here's what's interesting. When this was on the car, these were shorted and these were also shorted. But when I hold this, this one's still showing a short. So I'm fairly certain the short is somewhere in this setup here. It looks like this is the hot line and then the ground is just touches the frame. But you can see right now we have no continuity there. But then when I go here, see, now it's not showing continuity. So it's bizarre. It's like it works sometimes and then it shorts out sometimes. Back on the vehicle. Right now we're not getting any short there. So that's a good sign. The switch You don't have to remove this top screw unless you need to service any of this part here. Just the two side screws will take the cap off. When I first took this off of the car, there was continuity between the wire and here, which you should not have. When I pulled that out of there and looked at it, there wasn't continuity. Then when I put it back together, there wasn't continuity. So there must have been some weird problem that I accidentally fixed when I took it apart, because you see now no continuity. So it should not short out. So I'll put this cap back on, because it's just the two little screws. Put that back in the car and see if we've fixed the short. Alright, I've cleaned everything out of here, and it seems like we're not having continuity now, which is what we're wanting. This continuity is what makes it short and pop the fuse. I'm not seeing any continuity right now. The end cap comes off with the screw on the bottom. We're good. So I'm guessing there was probably some corrosion inside of there. When I cleaned it out, it fixed it. I didn't see anything very obvious inside of there, but it's really disgusting how the white lithium grease that's in there dries up and cakes up and gets all over the place, and then you can't tell what's corroded, rusted, and what's old white lithium grease. So one final test, we're just looking for, we want no continuity between these posts, the ground and the hot. We are not seeing any continuity now. So again, I think it was just corrosion, perhaps inside of here, perhaps inside the switch. And when I took it apart and moved things around, I probably broke off whatever corrosion was there. So the final test will be putting the light bulb back in and seeing if the fuse blows. Hopefully you can see how this all fits together. So this piece clips onto here for your hot connection. And just double check that we're not accidentally getting continuity now with that piece on. No, we're not. On my LED upgrade, you've got a connector like this. If you haven't done one of these, I highly recommend it. It's so much better than the standard bulb, you won't even believe it. Moment of truth. Reconnect the power, and voila, we have power. Obviously not every electrical problem is going to be as easy to diagnose and fix as this one was, but hopefully you'll get lucky and it will be. So appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and please tell your friends about my channel. Thank you very much.